Alright guys, welcome back to Conqueror and Commander. This is a game featuring my Captain Sisay deck. For the complete deck list, go to puremtgo.com. Look up my article series, Conqueror and Commander, and you should see it there. I should also have a link posted in the video description. That'll take you directly to it. Let's take a look at my opponents. Sliver Queen, Slivers or 5-color control. Prime Speaker Zegana. I don't really see too much like counter, like not counter spells, but like +1/+1 counter with Prime Speaker. It's more just like massive like beats and Boundless Realms type stuff. And Mayael, big boys, big critters. So this game, I've got one land. It's Temple of the False God, so obviously I'm going to send that back. That game, or this hand, has 2 lands and Soul Ring, and I get greedy. And I do not recommend you keep a hand like this, but for some reason I do it anyways. Alright, let's see what we got here. And I draw into another land, but it's colorless. So I basically do the first turn Soul Ring in case I draw another island. Or, I'm sorry, not island. Plains, so that I can play Elspeth, or if I drew a forest, I'd be able to play Sisay. But I don't draw either. So, yeah. Rupture Spire on the second turn for Sliver Queen. Did I accidentally stop it? I accidentally stopped it. Press play, damn it. There we go. Prime Speaker, turn 2, nothing. Mayael, nothing. So I do get another Plains, and at that point, like, nobody's got anything going. So I figure I'll put out Elspeth, and I'll just start making tokens, and if I can make everything indestructible soon, that's so much the better. Sliver Queen plays Journeyer's Kite. It's great when you have a lot of basics. Nothing from Prime Speaker. Mayael plays Kavu Lair. Now, I make another token with Elspeth. Kavu Lair seems like it's a good card. And I think generally it is. But if all the, especially if all your dudes are like fat, but you just need another Kresh player or something like that running around with just a bunch of fat dudes too that's going to abuse this from you. Or like if the Sliver player plays like Door of Destinies or something like that and all his dudes are big, he's going to be drawing a ton off that. So that's a maybe we'll see kind of card. So I make another token with Elspeth. I'm not going to attack with them because they need to sit back and play defense, and then I play Captain Sisay. There's Talon Sliver. And then Terramorphic Expanse gets played. Prime Speaker plays Crystal Shard, so that's definitely something you've got to be aware of. Nature's Lore for Mayael. I make another critter with Elspeth, and then I play Genesis just to have another creature, and so I can draw a card, really. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to wait to tutor with Sisay until it's almost my turn, and then right before my turn, I'll take a look and see what I can really use the most. I could have probably right now tutored for a land, but I decided not to. He oblations my Elspeth, which is a great play, especially right before my end step. So there's another forest right there, but I'm going to have to discard a card, and I think I discard Dosen. Yeah. So I'm not too worried about these guys doing much during my turn. There's Might Sliver. See, exactly, and now he's going to draw off Kavu Lair too. Prime Speaker is going to play Oracle of Moldiah, showing Sakura Tribe Elder. Alright. Mayael comes out to play. So I'm going to tutor up Gaia's Cradle, I think. Yeah. Because I've got 5 creatures, and a land that taps for 5 is probably a good thing. So, I'm going to go ahead and play Azusa first, and then Sylvan Library and my Forest, and then Momentous Fall, getting rid of Genesis, and then playing another land. Genesis doesn't really do me a whole lot of good out in play. Again, I'm not attacking, I'm not really doing anything right now, I'm just kind of like setting myself up. So I'm not going to tutor for anything else right now. That's right. The Mayael player sourced Plowshare Sisay, so I search up Reki, and once again I have to discard. Oh no, I beast within the Kavu layer so that the Sliver Queen player can't draw more cards. There's the Sliver Queen, and I get attacked, and I'll take it. Sylvan Primordial is on the top of his library, but he sacrifices his Sakura Tribe Elder. And he's got his own Sylvan library. And there's Fathom Mage. Mayael searches up nothing and whiffs. You know, and that happens occasionally with Mayael decks, as they do occasionally whiff. But, you know, it rarely happens, but it does happen. Alright, so I'm not going to pull anything out of my graveyard right now. First, what I'm going to do, because Azuz is still out there, I'm going to cultivate. And then I'm going to play my other lands. Oh no, I'm going to play Reki. And then Michiko Kanda, drawing a card. And I don't need Ancient Tomb right now, so I'm not going to stick it out there. And at this point, I just want my Gaia's Cradle to tap for more mana, honestly. And I'm setting up a little bit of a defense. He uses Journeyer's Kite to search up a swamp. The Sliver Queen does and does nothing. Crystal Shard bounces the Beast token because Mayael's tapped out. There's Diluvian Primordial. It goes on top of the library. And Prime Secret plays Master Biomancer, but then she's like, I didn't mean to do that. I'm like, kind of wondering what they did mean to do. The Primordial on the top of the library is rough because there's Oblation and Swords of Plowshares and Mayael's graveyard, and I've got Cultivate and Beast Within. So he could blow up some stuff if he wants with the Primordial. Mayael taps and gets Deathless Angel. I don't use Genesis right now. There's Garrick and Akroma's Memorial. Okay, so this is going to be good because I've got the Memorial, I've got Runetail, and I'm going to draw into Garrick. So first I play a land, I play Runetail, and when before Runetail's flipped, I tap Gaia's Cradle so that it taps for more mana. And then I play Garrick, and I untap. Oh, and then the Mayael player has to leave. So then I untap Gaia's Cradle with Garrick to play the Memorial. Oh, hey, look, what do I find there? Avacyn. So I've got enough mana left over to play Avacyn. And he mortifies my Runetail because it's an enchantment, you know. I mean, none of the creatures out here were really worth mortifying by themselves, but the Runetail probably was. So I draw into Commander Isha, and then I Hunter's Inside Avacyn. So I can refill my hand essentially, and then now I'm just going to start stomping all over everybody. There's ways out of this, but essentially with this kind of board, everybody decides to quit, more or less. Oh yeah, the Prime Speaker player tries to make me tap another mana for the Crystal Shard, targeting Avacyn, and of course I've got to pay it. You got to keep that in mind every time you have a Crystal Shard out there. Yeah, so I draw 8 cards, and you know, it's not the greatest looking pile, but I do have Austere Command, which is always awesome when you have Avacyn out there. I've got Time of Need and Safi and Teague, so it's good. And I discard a couple lands. And the Sliver player quits, and then the Prime Speaker player is at 24 life, and he's spitting images Avacyn, but I've got Genesis in my graveyard, so I can pull Genesis or Avacyn back into my hand, and that's when Prime Speaker concedes. So, sometimes that's just the way it is. You got like you're just kind of building up to critical mass, and then all of a sudden you become pretty tough to beat. I wasn't really doing a whole lot until I got Avacyn and Akrima's Memorial in play, along with Garrick. So with the Memorial in play, I could cast Captain Sisay. I've got Gaia's Cradle making a ton of mana, and I've got Garrick to untap it. So I could search up Kamal or whatever, and then just overrun people. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that game.